Today we're looking at managing views inside of Revit. So before we dive into any particular view type, let's understand what are the views that we can create inside of Revit. So if we go over to the View tab, you can see that we have the Create panel here, and that includes all the views that you can have. So if I start from the left here, we have 3D views. Now, if you click on this, it opens up your default 3D view. If I expand it, I can see I have additional options like placing a camera, which if I did, for example, place a camera here, then point it this way and click a second time, I will be creating a 3D view that looks from the point that I clicked. Go back to the point. And then additionally, in Revit, you have the ability to create 3D walkthroughs. Although if you are using something like Enscape or Twinmotion, I'd rather spend the time doing it there rather than in Revit. Then you have sections, callouts, and then for callouts, you can either draw a rectangle or sketch a custom shape. Then you have plan views, which include floor plans, RCPs, structural plans. Plan regions are a tool that you can use inside of Revit to basically control the view range for a specific area separately from the rest of the view. Then you have area plans. Next to that, you have elevations. They break it down in just elevation or framing elevations, which show you structural vertical bracing. Within elevations, if I click on that, typically you'll have viewed elevation types. Just like there were different floor plan types, you typically have your building elevation and your interior elevation. Those are more often than not preset with different symbols, but they behave the same way. So they're just grouped under elevations, period, regardless of whether they're building or interior elevations. The next to elevation, you have your drafting views, which are blank spaces that don't really have a connection back to the model, unless you add some view references that point you to views in the model, but that's about it. They're really good as far as detailing standard details that you're going to have in different locations throughout the model. And then you can point back to that drafting view rather than detailing it at every section. Then we have the ability to duplicate a view. You can see here I can duplicate view, duplicate with detailing, or duplicate as dependent. Next to that, we have legends. So legends are similar to drafting views in the sense that they are blank spaces that don't connect back to the model views. But legends have the unique ability that you can paste them or place them in multiple sheets. Drafting views can only be placed on one sheet at a time. Then you have schedules. These are often the most misunderstood type of view. They are not just a report, they are live views into your model. Think of them as highly detailed sections of your model. And that's the best way or advice I can give you. So within schedules, we have schedule quantities, which basically looks at anything that can be quantifiable within a model, graphical column schedules, material takeoff, which is a really useful schedule to identify the materials that are being used inside of a model. So for example, a wall schedule done with schedule quantity looks at the linear feet per wall type. The material takeoff breaks down that wall into its multiple layers and gives you quantities for each layer. Then the sheet list is typically your drawing list on your cover sheet. Noteblock is a really nice and unique schedule. I've used it or have seen it used most often for things like custom keynotes that rely on a symbol. And then view list just gives you a list of all the views in your model. This can be a really powerful tool to manage your views. I typically set one up on every starting view for a project so that users on that project can quickly identify whether the view name has been edited or has a sheet name or it has the right view template applied to it. Aside from the different types of views, let's look at floor plans and how to make them, specifically around levels, right? So if I have a level and I were to copy it up, that level is now black because it has no floor plan associated to it. Now, if I were to have a elevation view, and I were to draw a level, before I draw, I can select create plan view. What that allows Revit to do is, let's say that for the next level, I want architectural ceiling plans, architectural plans. Basically, I want all the different view types. Instead of me having to do this after the fact, those views get created for L4 automatically. So you can see here, if I were to search for L4, we're going to see L4 under all of these plans. So that's some of the differences. Now, keep in mind that when you make all the views at the same time, you have zero control as to which view gets assigned to the target, right? So if you have demo plans and other types of plans that are secondary, you may not want one of those tied to the level by default, and that you can't change. So the beauty about just copying it up and do it manually is that I can say, okay, let's make an architectural plan for L3. That first plan that gets created is what that target head is going to be associated to. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Got any questions? Head over to bimdad.com and let us know. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. See you in the next one.